If you could say one thing to them, what would you say?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for giving me a chance.
A big thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for the opportunity to work here. It was a lot of fun.
Thank him for letting me be part of this. Like, it's a really, I've heard before, it's like a second family to me.
Oh, Wapuu Spey is awesome. I mean, anyone who doesn't know any idea about Wapuu Spey or anything, I just tell them, going to work is not like work. It's like coming to hang out with your family. It's really an honor, and it's the best job I've ever had.
One thing about working here, though, is the fact that the bosses are so nice. Den and Mel really spoil you because they actually care.
Thank you for showing me, like Dennis in particular, I guess, and how to follow your dream. If you wanted to do this, and it's been a good example to me and to others. Very positive for the community, positive for Saskatoon, and other Canadian shows all across the nation. So keep up the good work, and thanks again.
Thanks to everybody here that gave me this opportunity to get into the field. It's been a lot of learning experience.
Just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to work on the series, and hopefully we have many more years yet to come with Guardians.
Thank you for letting me work in such a really cool place. Coolest job ever.
If it wasn't for Wapuu Spey, I don't believe I would be down here today, and I am very fortunate to say that I am. So thank you guys very much.
It's been a really fun time for the last 9 years, meeting all the cool guest stars and everything, and the award shows and all that kind of stuff, the rap parties. It's been really fun.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to work in this environment, in this medium. It's been really amazing. I've really learned to love stop motion in all its aspects, in whether building or working as an animator. And yeah, I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to do this.
To Dan and Mel and Onit and the whole production crew, because we've had such a good time, and I've enjoyed working here in my many, many, many capacities. I'm going to miss Cook and Mary, and if you can't find her trailer, I may have stolen it, but I would be willing to give it back if we do another movie. So if it goes missing, and I'm not saying it will, but if it goes missing with a Cook and Mary and a little patch of grass, I may have it in my basement set up so I can look at it all the time and be happy. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and I hope we have a great night.
Any memorable moments? Anything that sticks out in your mind more so than anything else?
That's a good one. I don't want to mention. Shouldn't mention that. How about memorable moments? I almost got fired first year.
Throwing a shoe at Trevor, that was good. Good times. Kicking Diana while she was pregnant, that was good too.
Horatio is given license to plan the Pride Parade, and he takes pride in a different direction, you might say. So Dennis asked us to build a float for the end scene with the parade. And Zane was art directing at that time, and he's a bit of a troublemaker in a good way, but he couldn't, we weren't really sure what he wanted for the float. So we were designing it with a kind of like a tiered cake effect, totally covered in glitter, and a glitter rainbow at the top. And then the puppets were mounted into it, and they'd be waving and doing their thing and throwing confetti.
Let's see now. What is my favorite moment? I have two, I think. Well, maybe three. Probably a lot. Actually, every day is a favorite moment for me. But I remember when we shot the pilot, we went to Regina, Dan and I, and Dan was winning the screenwriting award for the pilot, and we got to meet Lorne Cardinal, and you know, he was living the big life as Mr. Corner Gas in town, and he said, "Dennis, I love your show. I want to be on it." And we're like, "Well, you're going to be great. Yeah, we're going to love to have you on there." And then we were driving back, and Dennis looked over to me, and coming back from Regina into Saskatoon, and he's like, "You know, we're probably going to have to make that part a bit bigger."
When we first moved to the big studio, we moved out of Media Group. I was still in pre-production, and Justin and I came over and we were making puppets. So we were in this enormous space. There was just one little 4x8 table off to one end. And we were young and silly, and we thought, wow, look at all this big open space. It'd be a great place to play Frisbee. It was lunchtime, and Mel and Den decided they were going to be nice, and they brought pizza for everybody. And we all came back to this studio from Media Group, and Justin and I finished our pizza. We started tossing the Frisbee around, and it was through Frisbee. It was just this really nice light floater. Wasn't no real speed, and it floated above the office, the producer's office, and touched one of the wires that holds the suspended ceiling up, and the whole thing just went boom on the floor. Dennis wasn't very impressed with this.
I remember in season 3 there was quite a lot of effects to do, so I ended up spending a lot of late nights here. Completely on my own, because production was wrapped up and had long since been wrapped up. And the editor had gone home. So it was just me in this creaky old building, and a starling had gotten caught up in the rafters and was making all these terrifying noises out on the floor. It was just echoing through the entire studio. That was a fun night.
Long nights by myself, a lot of weird noises, and just strange. But yeah, that's probably what I remember the most. Is just the long hours, a lot of work, but it pays off. You know, it's great working on the show.
Well, Stasia was just reminding me about going to Sandy Bay, where I caught the biggest fish. Thanks very much. That was very memorable. I got to meet Uncle Peter and Uncle Hector. I got to meet Uncle Hector. He's very nice. He had a very nice lawn also, I believe.
Looking all the way back to the Christmas special when we spent many late nights working all night trying to put mouths and eyes on all of the characters, and thank you very much for actually putting the mouths on the puppets.
There was one season where I couldn't get down this one line where I just repetitively kept going to a British accent about asking for milk, pretty much. Hey T-Bear, would you like some milk? Like, I continuously said that over and over, no matter how many times. Took me about like 30 minutes to get that line down.
I think when I first started on the Christmas one, all the icing sugar used for snow, and all the flies and the heat in that building. I think that's what really stands out in my mind.
The second season. That was the season where we didn't want to leave any shots overnight, so because of the set shifts. So a lot of nights we were here till 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I always remember it was always Diana and I, sometimes Shane, I believe. Trevor used to always buy us pizza. Thanks, Trevor, for all the pizza. That was great.
We've had quite a few good times here, like, just craziness. Because there's been lots of times where we'd go off script, where suddenly we'd say, you know what would be funny? And then we talk about something that would make us laugh, and then suddenly Jacob Tutu is punching a badger, or suddenly a skunk just jumps on the scene and sprays Jacob. Why? Because it would be funny.
The story behind Doug. I don't know what Trevor's goal in creating that was, but I'm pretty sure it was just to make me so angry that I would throw another shoe at him or something. But what's more funny about that is everybody's reaction to it. Like, I don't know, random people would like come up to me when like everybody else was out hearing shot and say like, what's with Doug? Why do they call you that? You know, like, do you like it? And it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me very much. But it's like, what did you do to get that name? It's like, nothing, man, nothing. But I've gotten my vengeance. Yes, I enacted it on both Trevor and Den. Why Den? Probably just because they're both together. He really doesn't have anything to do with it, but just, you know, by association, I figured they should both, you know, get what's coming to them. So, interesting thing about the female hormone estrogen is in its liquid form, it's tasteless. So, every time they leave their coffee cup unattended, I've been putting a drop of this in. And they've probably been wondering why they started lactating halfway through production. That is karma.
This isn't going to be on TV, is it?
I just have escape fantasies for warmer climates.
I like cheese a lot.
For surely be on time.
I can't remember how long I've worked here. It seems like a very long time.
I really don't have any animating school background at all.
Definitely incentive to work fast, get work done so you can go home to sleep.
Was that awkward enough?
Knew a guy who knew Cam.
I barely touched it, and the whole ceiling came down.
No, I just got this deep man voice.
If he's playing poker and he's pretending to be passed out, he's not passed out. He's plotting to take all your money.
Just keep making shows so that I can keep getting dirty at work.